Welcome, 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 welcome. That was the brand new intro for the show. This is Wild and Weird Radio, and you are live with us, Joseph.
Oh man, I'm glad it's Thursday. I don't know about you, man.
Yes.
So we've got going to run through the group here real quick, and everybody that's setting in. We've got a big crowd starting off at right at 8:00. So Bigfoot, what's going on? Says I can hear the Imperial March in my head as 8 p.m. draws near in this frigid Thursday evening. Good, very good. Theresa, what's going on, Theresa? Good to have you here. Jolie Bug, what's going on? Hope you had a good Christmas, and we hope you do as well, or did rather. Then we've got Spooky. What's up, Jimbo? Then Nancy White's in the house. Chris Coots. Ashley Hilt's on time this week. Oh, it's a after Christmas miracle.
It's a miracle.
Beth's on time. Oh man, there's something wrong.
Well,
all right, guys, that's been a great show. We're gonna go ahead and shut this one down. Fish Belly, what's going on? Lisa Beard, how you doing? Yes, we did have a great Christmas. What about you, Ron?
Oh, I had a incredible Christmas. Yes.
Tommy Swiger is in the house. Boone Fullwood's on time. Everybody's on time. There's Daniel Lee. What's going on? It's our buddy from the UK. How you doing, man? All the way from across the pond. Holy crap, dude! It's 8 right now for us. That puts you 5 hours, dude. It's past your bedtime, child.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, Joe. We are seeing people who are finally learning how to use their notifications.
Right. We've got Finding the Trackways in the house. Larry Ho's in the house. Scott Holbrook's in the house. Ada Cox is in the house.
Ada.
Yeah, Daniel Lee, very, very late for you guys. It is 8 p.m. Eastern. They are 5 hours.
Wow, that's some dedication.
5 hours ahead of us.
That's dedication, kids.
It is. It is. That. And you guys need to check out Daniel's stuff and what all he has going on too. He's over there at the Mythical Legends podcast. He great stuff. I've been on the show. We're going to try to get Ron on the show here soon with him, and then probably very likely have him come on our show. He's the one that found the anomalous DNA find over there in the UK.
Yep.
And really interesting stuff. Oh, coming in hot, we've got Lisa Beard kicking it off at 9:99. Holy cow. It is Thursday. It's Thursday, man.
It is. So, couldn't make you a new Sky Daddy this week because the intro. But there are some cool things that I did make, and you're going to get to see those, which is really cool. Everyone stick around for the second half of the show, because that's when things are going to get really wild and weird. We're going to be looking back at our past predictions and seeing how close we came. How close do you think we came, Joe?
Oh, terrifyingly so.
Yeah, probably. We'll let
terrifyingly so.
We'll let everybody else be the judge of that, and we'll talk about what's going on. First of all, let's roll the
Jimbo says Joe needs to come on Spooky Appalachia. Say when, brother.
Let's get the banner rolling here.
All hail the Sky Daddy. That is correct.
There you go.
So we got our executive producer Adam Good, Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State, Dewey Edwards, Spooky Appalachia, Larry Ho's, Guitarchains Craig, Travis Aurednik over at the Deep End Antiques, Geoffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, BigfootLittlefoot, Tommy Swiger. It feels like this thing slows down the longer it goes. Tommy Swiger, Terri Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, Finding the Trackway. And we've got some honorable mentions that we're going to throw into the list here soon. If you guys are out there and you're looking for anything cool, check out Creature Replica. They're it's a great friend of ours. Both of them have been on the show multiple times. Going to be scheduling them very soon here into the new year as well.
I'm not giving any shout outs to Jeff Byers. You can talk about
yeah, he's not in the chat, Jeff. Where are you at, Geoffrey?
Right. I'm not doing that. So, no. No, you can talk about Gene all you want, but Jeff, no. Not doing that.
Yeah, Gene's a great mentor. He's helped me out with a lot of stuff.
Yes,
Gene's a
I
great dude.
can. Yes, I can. How about this, Bigfoot? Is that good?
You're a little hot.
Hang on. How about there? Is that good?
Little lower.
How about there? It's not me.
That's good.
You said I can't hear me. I don't know. I could hear me. Let me know.
Nancy White, Merry Christmas.
Nancy. Okay. I think everybody's in. All right. Check the volumes out there, people, and let us know if you can hear us really
Lisa
good.
says it's still low for her.
See, it's still low. Okay. All right, then. I'm going to go up a little bit. How about now?
I'm going to have to turn mine down so I don't get any back off.
How about now? Does that sound all right, people?
Spooky says sounds fine now for me.
Okay. All righty then.
Oh, Adam's somewhere in the house. There he is.
Okay,
Adam
there
Good.
He is. All right. I didn't know he was here. I just sent him out a thing to see if we could get him.
Oh, he just popped in. So,
yeah.
Man, what a year.
What a year. What an amazing year. Everybody, did you all have a fairly decent year?
It's all right.
Fairly decent year. Wasn't terrible. We did all right. We had a fun time.
We had, like, as far as Wild and Weird is concerned, totally different. Personal life, little crazy time.
Mm-hmm.
Wild and Weird, fantastic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Over 40 some shows out there. Reminded me of the reptile days almost. Except for, you weren't dressed up like a Oompa Loompa.
Yeah. Oh. Ada Cox.
Ada.
Keeping it free.
Ada with the little alien head. Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of my favorite ones. I don't know. Which one's your favorite, guys?
Spooky Appalachia said it's a fantastic year. Almost 3,000 subs now and monetized. Congratulations.
See, that's
man.
awesome. See, we don't even have 3,000 subs.
We don't. Yeah, we have half of that in subs, but
But
we
boy,
luckily
do we have some.
we hit the magic number about 6 months ago.
Well, we've got. I mean, the ones that we've got are so loyal. It's not even
They are
funny. So that's a wonderful thing, and I'm so happy for that. Everybody, do take the time if you aren't subbed to go ahead and do that, and like, share, and all that stuff. Especially share. Get it out there to your friends so we can get them over
Subscribe.
here. That's pretty.
I'm not so subliminal messaging.
That's not subliminal at all. We're not very good with that subliminal messaging stuff, guys. Tell you what, I'm going to read an account first.
Oh, Scott Holbrook's gonna be having a grandbaby coming soon.
Oh my gosh! Look at
I'll
that.
start calling you Paul Holbrook.
How about that? Everyone, wish him a very, very, congratulations there. That's very cool. That's very cool. Well,
Irene says, "Good morning, everyone from Tokyo, Japan."
Wait, what?
Holy
Are you
crap!
kidding me?
Merry Christmas, friends! I was wondering
Tokyo?
how I could become a sponsor of Wild and Weird Radio, and I think you just did.
Put them up on the
Going
thing.
in right now.
Yep.
Well,
ahead.
not right now because something more important is coming.
Oh yeah.
The thing that we got to do.
Make it happen. Give them a flyover. I think they. I love that one.
One more.
You have to play that one a little bit later when it goes off. That way they can see what they got there.
Oh yeah, when that goes away, that we can see a thing at the
I
bottom.
really do like that one.
LW Marshall, thank you so much.
Bless you.
That is greatly appreciated, and that is exactly how you become a sponsor of Wild and Weird Radio. And
you just did.
You can help out with anything else. We're going to throw your branding down in here in just a second. Doing it now.
You gonna get it? If you're gonna get it, I'm gonna go ahead and start reading this.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
okay.
fixing her up.
All right, we're going to go ahead and put LW Marshall in the ticker. And that's how you get in the ticker, guys. And that's how you're also going to go on the website. We'll have a place over there for you sponsors as well. As soon as I can get in there after the holidays and make you a
Also,
corporate thing.
LW, send us a mailing address to
Please.
wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. All of our donors and all the sponsors get little freebies here and there.
Getting something. Okay, so Joe, we had someone send us an account. And this was a couple weeks ago. I'm going to read this account, okay? And then we're going to talk about this. So this was around 3:20 a.m. in the morning, and basically the witness goes on to say, "I had just sat back down in bed after getting up with one of the kids, looked up while drinking some water, and saw a green blinking object hovering above the tree line. It was about the size of a softball. Watched it for a few seconds, then it just vanished. It never moved, but was just gone after a few seconds. I remember thinking I'll never be able to fall asleep again after this. And the next thing I knew, I woke up and it was time for work. I also remember there was no sound with this, and I would have easily heard aircraft or drones at this hour. There was a dog barking at the time, but the rest of the area was silent. I received this not that long ago. It is from one of our sponsors, actually, believe it or not, one of our listeners. And we do get a lot of you guys sending in your stories from time to time, but they did not share the story anywhere else. And go ahead, Joe, and do
How to
this.
catch up on these. Tommy, thank you.
Thank you.
Spooky, thank you. And I think that's all of them. Yeah. And LW Marshall, that was we're still just thank you.
Yes, huge thank you, LW. Massive thank you.
Because what you guys have coming soon, because of all that has been going on, oh, mercy. It's gonna you're gonna have a great time with that. I can promise you.
Yeah. 24 is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, you got a little teapot there.
I do.
That's cool. I got a little teapot. I got a little glass one.
Short and stout.
And I love that little thing. It's really cool. No, I actually bought me one. It bought me a present. It bought me a teapot. Okay, so anyway, there's the account. But, more importantly, I think we're going to try to get the person who had this incident to come on and actually talk about it with us. There's some questions that we're going to ask, and it's kind of interesting.
Check that one out, Ron.
I see that. We have UFO sightings every time we get an earthquake, and it's always near the nuclear power plants.
And this is our listener from Japan.
Irene, I've actually heard that.
Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that as well.
Yeah, like lots of them. And I know that some of the part of the culture believes that those are spirits, I believe.
Yeah, that's some of the culture, part of the more traditional culture.
Mm-hmm.
Believe that is a spiritual kind of deal. Yeah. Beth says, can't wait for the new year. Hope it's better than 2023. It will be.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be. I can promise you that. And do I have a crystal ball? Yeah, I do, but I don't have it out right now. I have a weird picture.
Well, Irene, when you get a chance, go like on Facebook, Wild and Weird Radio over there. And you can actually send us that photo there instantly, or you can email it to wildandweirdwv@gmail.com.
That's the easiest one. Is that it? No, that's not it.
Oh, the email?
There it is. Yeah. There you go.
I'm trying to stay on top of the like, share, subscribe thing.
I know.
We've never do that.
I know. We got to keep doing that.
So the email's right below. Anybody who needs it, whether you're sending in mailing addresses or sighting reports, you can go there. Or if you do have a sighting report, you can go to wildandweirdwv.com. Click the report a sighting tab, fill out the questionnaire, all that good stuff.
All right. right. Well, that's wonderful. That is awesome. And it's great to have you listening, Irene. That's amazing. We got, I cannot, to me, it still amazes me that we get to do this and it's all around the world. And that blows my mind at times.
Right.
Literally blows my mind. We've pretty much got world coverage tonight. And this is just, never would imagine. Never would imagine.
Irene says, "Oh heck, my religion comes from aliens called Shintoism."
Okay. Well, you're fine then. Welcome.
Finding the Trackway says, if you're ever in Lynchburg, Virginia, there's a great English tea house across the street from the Ghost Stop.
Oh boy.
Might have to check that out.
Right.
Because I'm a big tea fan. I was.
Well, we're both tea fans.
Yeah. Lisa says, sounds like a good road trip destination. Absolutely. I'm in Facebook jail right now due to a scammer, and I'm livid.
Oh my God.
Ron had to deal with that not long ago.
Last year. It was actually, and it better not repeat again because I'll know who it is this time. It's the government.
Yeah.
No, it's the MIB. It's MIB. In January last year, I was down till February in a very important time too. We had a video that we were trying to put out and it was just a nightmare.
Yeah. It made a lot of things a mess.
It was a nightmare. I actually got my account back. It was all good. And they were great. Helped me get that back. And it was no time, but they couldn't reverse the strike or whatever against me. It was someone who went over there and put a bunch of hateful stuff.
These guys still think that elf they let down their chimney each year comes from the pole that isn't off limits by international law.
Well, the Men in Black are here. That's good. Good way to start off our final show of the year.
What could they possibly have figured out?
So, you ready to bring on our witness here?
If we have to.
Yeah, let's bring on the witness. Go ahead.
Everybody, welcome to the stage, our good friend Jimbo, aka Spooky Appalachia.
Now,
oh, hey guys.
Hey, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get a little backstory for the folks.
Well, Teresa's already disappointed. You're welcome, Jimbo. Says, I was hoping the Men in Black was going to make an appearance tonight.
Well,
may.
I am
They
wearing
may.
black.
The night's not over.
Oh, it's my Flatwood shirt too.
There you go.
Fitting. I didn't even mean to do that.
It's an interesting story. You got a hold of me a few weeks ago and said,
Yeah.
I've been seeing some weird stuff, right?
Yeah, it happened 3 times. Third time I filmed it, which
Yeah.
you saw.
Yeah.
And
I've got that for us. We can cue that up.
every single time it was I got up with the kids in the middle of the night, one of them, and I would sit back down, and if you saw the couch, it's the same window. The bedroom's above the living room, but I sat down on the couch, I looked up, and there was that green softball size thing above the tree line. And you saw the tree line. There's no way it was a house or anything at that level. And it would just blink, 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 kind of like it was trying to send like almost like a Morse code type signal. And it would do it for 30 seconds to 2 minutes. I've measured the time.
Okay.
And then it would just blink away and it was gone.
Okay.
Each time. So weird.
Welcome, Octopus. So I encouraged you basically to log these events as they occurred, and you did. And it did happen again, as you said, and it happened multiple times. And then this past week, while I was out Christmas shopping, I got a message from you that said, "I got it on video."
Now, Jim, you said it was green, right?
Yep, it was green.
Hey, Brandy.
Hey, Brandy.
It's like a lime green light.
And what's really bad about
You said
this,
softball size, right?
Yep. It was not very big.
what's really bad about it is we've got the video. The video looks pretty good. We can't bring out the full color in the video, probably because
I was disappointed. It kind of looks white in the video.
It does.
A lot of these cameras, they hunt for light so hard.
Yeah.
that when you're in the dark like that, a collared light will overdrive the saturation so quickly, and even yellows, greens, and oftentimes blues will even turn up white.
Yeah.
And it was just on my. I mean, I had it on the couch next to me. I think you can hear one of the kids was in the living room with me when I filmed it. I was like, "Oh my God, there it is!" And I just like jumped over, grabbed my phone, and filmed it.
Well, I've got it. So we're gonna. Want me to go ahead and cue it up? And
Sure.
Okay. So here's what you got.
Dude, there it is. Blink, 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 blink. Off. Blink, 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 blink. Off.
It was trying to focus. It just couldn't hold that focus. And this is common, guys. At nighttime, you're going to get that.
Yeah.
Your cameras just can't focus when they're in the black like
I
that.
was just so glad I captured it.
But you
know?
did capture it. And, like I told you, now let's see what it looks like during the day. And you did. You went and got me a good shot of what it looks like during the day. And this is where he's looking out at.
Just to kind of show from what I was seeing, I was sitting on my couch here. It was nighttime. And the object you could see from the tree line right there is up in here. So there's no houses or anything right at that spot. There is the one right there, but that's too low. It was up here. It shows up sometimes. It's stationary. It blinks. No sound. And it would go for 30 seconds to 2-3 minutes maybe. Blinks on and off, and then it just doesn't come back on. And it's gone.
And you can see that the tree line is pretty clear right there. There's no houses there. So
Spooky, Irene went and gave you the follow and sub, man.
Awesome. I think that's my first follower from Japan.
that's awesome.
I love
man.
Japanese stuff, so I was really excited when I saw that. Sorry.
Well,
So this is my first time seeing this video, and my first impressions, especially with the way it was oscillating, almost like the way it were blinking,
That was so weird.
that was bizarre.
gonna
Because
play
it's
it
not
again.
a conventional
I
aircraft.
know. I'm going to play
Those
that
are-
again. I want you to look at
Those are
strobe.
scheduled, like they have a specific blinking pattern
Yep.
that's programmed.
Yeah, my gut tells me it was something trying to make some kind of contact.
Here we go.
Well, your gut's telling you wrong, apparently.
It's swamp
Oh.
gas.
The men in black say it's swamp gas.
Totally swamp gas, guys. Totally.
Dude, there it is. Blink, 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 blink. Off. Blink, 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 blink. Off.
Because
Man,
that's
that is a
well
weird
above the tree
pattern.
line.
Yeah.
And it's a weird pattern. It's a very
And it had been
strange
going
pattern.
for about a minute before I reached over and grabbed it. Every time I see it out of the corner of my eye,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
So
there
when
it
you-
is.
So when you shot this thing, it just like, I'm out of here.
Yep.
That's all you got. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty common actually with a lot of things. It almost seems like when they're observed, it stops.
Beth says that's what my aunt that lives next door keeps saying she's seeing, calling it a green UFO. She said it hovers over the tree line across from her house.
Oh, weird.
Oh, we'll be talking about that soon, Beth.
Yeah. And that's not because, and this isn't the first time I've heard that from Beth. Beth has told me about this
yeah.
UFO sighting multiple times.
Well, that's the whole thing about Wineberry. It's
Yeah.
literally got everything.
Irene says, thanks, Tommy. And also she says, I cook too, because you're talking about you love all things Japan. And Irene, I was actually trained by a Japanese master chef for a few months. And you should message us some recipes. I'd love to try them out. So this UFO, again, first reaction.
Yeah.
Because that's my first time seeing the video. It's not being blocked by the tree because when the trees are bare, sometimes you see a star through them. and the wind will blow the tree. The top of the tree will move, and it will cause that oscillating light effect. But that's above the tree line, based off the photograph or the video that you showed during the day. It seems to be blinking in a pattern that's on purpose. And it's extremely bright.
Oh, it's very bright.
So what kind of feelings did you have the first time you saw it?
I was feeling, oh my gosh, not one of these again. And then I was, like I told Ron, I was like, I'm never going to be able to sleep now. Then I started feeling drowsy. And I was out.
Yep, that's what I said.
Anything the next day?
No. It would be, it happened 3 times, and it was a couple days in between, I believe.
Adam Good says, yeah, I've witnessed these guys.
I'm going to try to pull this up here, and we're going to see if we can enhance this a little bit, Jimmy.
Theresa says, who's going to take the laser pointer out to Spookies and blink back at it?
Nobody.
No, I don't want it to come any closer.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
I don't want it.
Octopus with at least us as friends. I frequently see flashes like that in the sky, but usually they don't repeat so much. Very rarely do they repeat in the same place like you got there on tape. Very, very cool.
So, Jimmy, this thing's shown up in the same place pretty much every time, right? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Almost the same spot, if not
Almost
the same spot.
Okay. And what about the time? Is the time about the same? Or is it
it's all. I think the time that I filmed it for you, I sent it right away. Was that like 10:30 or 11:30? Can't remember.
In the evening, yeah.
And for me, that's late.
Yeah.
You know, because I work at 6
Well, for
a.m.
normal people, it is. It's, you know.
And then the other times it's like 2 and 3.
For normal people, it is. I'm going to share a screen here. So we can
Okay.
see it. You guys can see that, right? All right. Let me zoom in here so we can go in. Let's go to 100%. That's, well,
It's cold down here in the basement. So
this will probably work about where we want it. So I'm going to jog this forward now, guys. That's what I'm going to do. So we can get a lock on this light. And I want to see if we can get a focus there. Almost got, you can see the green. I can definitely see the green when we jog on this light. I don't know if you guys can see that, if you're seeing it or not. I'm going to make it bigger so that way you can. All right, so let's go over here and let's grab, let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Try to get down here. And let's go down here to this one here and go to basics. And now let's see if we can bring up some exposure on this. Just a little bit. See if anything happens. Okay, yeah, we can see it. You'd be surprised what your camera actually captures out there.
That you just don't see.
Yeah,
you can see my window frame now.
Yeah, I can see your window frame now.
Gosh, this is giving me the chills, guys.
There's your window
Well, Adam Good, if you want to feel even more chills, Adam Good says, oh, it came closer, Spooky. Why do you think you went to sleep?
Right, I didn't say that.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, well, you know, you're still here.
Brandy says, I've seen something similar too a few years ago. It was around Christmas. I shared a video on Facebook, but I can never find anything afterwards. I wish there were more research or more search parameters.
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks ago this happened, like 1 or 2.
Let's see. So yeah, that's about the clearest you got it right there, I think.
Oh, Angie too.
Yeah, Angie said I saw a light like that in the sky during the day once in Flatwoods, but it was white.
You can see that flash pattern. Look at that. And I thought, well, maybe it's something going, past some branches, but it's not because this
No,
flash pattern.
it's not that.
No, that's a
It
very
kind of
quick.
looked like it was in front of the branches,
Yeah, that's
which
the
which
weird
is
part.
why I thought it was smaller.
That's the weird part. So what we're going to do, we have this here, right? So let's go over now. I'm going to move this up, and I'm going to grab.
Now, Tony asked, could it be a laser pointer earlier?
I wouldn't think so.
You would see the
Since I
screen,
was
like for it to be a
yes.
laser pointer to have
Well-
that kind of a reflection on the window, it almost have to be somebody like hanging out of a helicopter, hitting it directly on your window.
It would be pretty noticeable, I think.
Yeah,
So I'm going to try.
because lasers, they pick up every fragment of dust.
Do you think it's right about in here somewhere? Is that where
Yeah, I think
what we're
so.
thinking? Somewhere around in
Or to the right a little bit.
over in here?
No, that the middle tree there. Sorry, over to the left a little bit more.
Yeah,
the
right there.
taller one without the
one?
branches.
Yeah.
I think it was either there or in that
this-
open spot.
So in this zone right in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see what we can do.
And I've seen a lot of weird stuff in those woods, but I've told y'all that already.
So
Angie says next time open the window.
No way.
Facebook user says, hi, everyone. Let me go see who you
hey,
are.
Facebook user. So Jimmy, would that be about where the tree line should line up?
Yes.
If we could see through that.
Yes.
So
Oh
it
my
would
gosh.
Be right
Oh,
in
it's
there,
Mark.
right?
It's Mark Eddy. He's over there. He's Facebook user.
So we're moving a little bit, but it would be right in that same area. That's what you thought too. You said it would be right in there. So, yeah, that's yeah, it's right about in the same area you said it would be. So, I would think you're right. I don't know what that is, guys. I have no idea what that is. And wow, that's pretty crazy, man. You got something. You did catch something.
So
Eventually,
how frequently have you seen this, Jim?
I've only seen it 3 times.
In what type of a time span?
It's just been a couple weeks.
Three
like 2 or
times in a
3
couple weeks.
Yeah.
boy.
None this week. Were they all the same week, Ron? You think?
I
believe-
no.
Oh,
You-
okay.
You had your first sighting about 2 weeks ago, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, if you guys remember, I just had COVID and the flu. So
Yeah,
also
right.
at the time I was sick. So
Donna
time
says,
kinda-
too slow to be a comet or an asteroid, stays way too long to be a shooting star, too slow for a plane. If we're flying towards me, it wouldn't take so long for a plane to pass over. Yeah.
I don't think it's a plane. What he's seeing, I don't think it's a plane.
Tony asks, is eye shine?
that high up.
To be that high up, you're talking something maybe an owl, but the thing for an
good
owl's
thinking.
eyes to catch light in that manner, you'd have to be shining a flashlight also directly at it. And based off of the video from the first video where it was dark, you don't even have a floodlight out there, do you? Or at least it
No.
wasn't on when the video was taken.
No.
So the floodlight wouldn't even hit the tip of lucidum to cause that kind of a refraction of the light. So I probably could rule eye shine out.
Based on that.
Tommy says, I had a blue orb drop from my living room ceiling. Brightest blue you can imagine.
Oh, just a little bit.
Fishbelly asks, are you on or near an airport flight pattern?
No. The closest one to me is Roanoke, Virginia. That's about an hour away.
Theresa says, in the original, there's a little ball of light or a lens flare, I think, reflecting in the TV, but it doesn't seem to blink in and out at the same pattern. What was that?
The light from the TV.
Oh, hang on, I'll find it for
That's where the Roku turned off, I believe.
Let me find
Angie
it.
says, get a camera out there. You don't have any security cameras, do you? Like those little cheap.
I do, but
1080p
they
security cameras?
are on the out front because, I mean, why watch those woods? It's fenced off.
Right.
Trying to take these back down.
Irene says Japan Airlines fly over the North Pole to conserve fuel, and the pilots see UFO activity and report it when they get disbarred from the airline company. That is absolutely a shame.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Men in Black, we have deciphered the message within the flashing lights. It wasn't for you.
Oh, well, that's good.
That's it for you. I'm trying to find that.
Theresa says, Tommy, I've seen something similar. It fell like plasma or glass being blown. Oh, wow.
Where was this at?
See, that's what Theresa was asking about right there.
That right there. Yeah.
Power saving mode or whatever it is from the TV.
Okay, that's just the TV. So yeah, it's way down there, completely different color. No chance that that's reflecting. It's not doing the same thing either, because this thing is like boom, right there. I wish we could get a little closer to it, guys, but I don't think we can. I think that's about as good as we're going to be able to get this thing.
Ron, could you save this overlay for when I do a story on it on
Yeah.
Spooky? I haven't
I'll
even
send
done
it
it
to
on
you.
Spooky Appalachia yet.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Let's see if I can go a little farther in here.
Beth says she has a video of a cigar-shaped UFO somewhere. One of the old Facebook.
Let's see if this works.
Wish she could find it.
There we go.
That almost looks like Venus if you look at it through a kind of lower.
So what's good about this? Typically, when you blow up something like that, you don't want to do that because you're just gonna, I can see faces, whatever.
Yeah.
Your paranoia takes
but
effect.
What we can see is we can see that that's not a white light. That's what I wanted you guys to see, because you can see that's clearly not a white light. The camera makes it look like a white light, but if you can, right there, see that? It's got a little
green,
tinge.
yellow.
Yellow green that's coming in, and when it goes in and out of focus, particularly right there, there's a little bit of a green. You can really make that out. So yeah, that's not. And what's really weird about this, Jimmy, really weird, is I'm seeing the intensity of this light. That intense of a green, that's not on a drone. That's not on any aircraft that I know of. It's extremely green, if that's green, because that's almost like a, there's a great shot right there. It's like it's almost fluorescent, like a real bright chartreuse kind of look to it. So yeah, I don't know what you got there, bud, but you got something.
It's creepy as heck.
You got something. And, like I said, I would just make notes. The more of these, that you run into.
Mm-hmm.
But we can see the blinking patterns going on here.
Yeah.
That's just scrubbing it forward, straight forward. I'm not doing that. I'm just moving straight ahead, and you can see it flicker, flicker, flicker. Weird flicker patterns. Look at that.
And then it just goes out.
Yeah. And that's what it does every time. After I watch it for about.
It's right here. It'll flick. Look at that when it goes out. Did you see that? There's a color shift.
Yeah, shifts that orange red.
Oh,
look at that. So there's a color shift when it actually goes out. And we don't see that color anywhere else.
No.
At all through this.
It's only when it goes out.
And we should see that color if that was just going to be like a focus aberration or something where the saturation's messed up. But we only see that on that one frame. Let me go back in. There it is.
There it is. It's red.
Check that out. You guys see that okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that up.
That's clear.
Let me pull it down here. There we go. Again, we're not really concerned with the shape so much, but we're looking more at this color that we're seeing here, because we saw it go from this.
Well, the UFO reports that have been declassified, they talk about the blue shift.
Yeah, right.
So those blue shifts, they know, cause extreme bursts of radiation.
Right. Oh,
maybe this is the opposite of that. Because on the collar wheel, red and blue are not all,
Oh, look at this.
Maybe there's no radiation burst from that.
Check that out. So here, these are frame by frame. Nothing here, right? This is where it's flashing. This is right before it goes out. You can see it, right? It's starting to come on.
Yeah.
This is per frame. And look, you can actually see this little wisp. You see this up here? You guys see that, right? Right there.
Couldn't that be pixelation and
Well,
like,
watch this though.
because it is zoomed.
But look, it's not there in the others. Yeah, when we get here and then where it starts to fade and go, it's disappearing now. It's turning into the red and it's gone. So there's this, and this. So there's 3 stages when it disappears. There's this, where it makes this little, whatever this is. It's still there, turns red. It's kind of sucked down into this part, and then it's gone. I don't know. That's just kind of weird. That's kind of odd. I like that, Jimmy. This is a pretty cool one. I've not got to play with one like this one for a while, so that's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah, it's been since that one that was sent to you from Nitro.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping we'd be able to explain it away. Oh well.
Unfortunately, not with this one.
can't.
Like if it moved, maybe if it had moved off screen, we could hypothesize what could have happened. But from where it just blinks out and is gone.
It's so weird.
So
Yeah.
my wife and I, we had seen one that looked identical to that red orange at the end when it first goes away. We had seen something in the sky moving that was that color, and then it was there and just wasn't any longer.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was back in 2020.
No, don't get excited. I'm just playing with the exposure. This is a good, probably a good, all right, here's a good lesson for you. When you guys get those pictures from your phones and you see them, people blow them up and they start seeing all this pixelization. It's normal.
So Brandy said the one that I saw was white too. It was near the Prickett's Fort exit, but my family's also seen similar white things in Hatteras, North Carolina as well.
Mm-hmm.
People keep telling me it was a star.
And this proves to me right here that we are definitely seeing a red shift. That is a red shift for sure. Hey, Dewey.
What's going on, Dooster?
So we
Kicked
are
back in the recliner watching from the big screen tonight. I hear you, man.
What's really cool is we're not seeing a whole lot of movement back here in this background, as you can see. That's pretty good. It's
LW
pretty
Marshall says
stable.
planes have red lights on the left wing and green lights on the right, but this appears to be a single stationary source emitting different colors. Exactly. That's what's so
Yeah.
strange. And another thing with the
I don't know,
aircraft, like you had mentioned, they blink, and it's a programmed blink. Like it's going to be the same on basically every model. And this isn't blinking in a
Yeah, it's weird.
like a
I mean,
easily repeatable pattern. You know, normally with aircraft, it's just blink.
well, usually it's easy
Blink.
to find aircraft. I mean, we've done it.
Oh, yeah.
Times people send us aircraft photos, and it's easy to find those lights and say, "Oh yeah, that's just an airplane." And this one, I don't know.
Larry says the red is what I've seen, is closer to what I've seen in the woods.
I'm not sure what it is. I'll just be straight up with you. I don't know what that is. And
Finding the Trackway says the orb I saw was 10 yards away and white.
10
And
yards away.
Dude, the same thing I saw. And it was about at 10, 15 yards, roughly.
I don't want to get that close.
Well, guys, it seems
Tommy
like I
just
need
said
to-
real-time poltergeist stuff here. Glass just went flying off my bar. Dogs are freaking out.
Oh, wow.
Love it.
Oh wow, that's nice.
All right, I need to get back and help
All
with
right.
the kids. Thanks
All
for
right,
having me
brother.
on, guys.
Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing that with everyone.
And I
Because-
shared it here first. It hasn't been on Spooky yet. I mean,
Well,
this is a little weird for me. Usually it's the other way around. People telling me their stories are coming on and having them.
This is how it works, man. When you help each other. So what I'm
Exactly.
going to do is I'm going to make a cut of this where I can go in and actually, cut this up and get you some different, especially this last 3 frames of it.
if you want to come on when I tell this story, Ron.
I don't care. Sure.
Okay, that might be pretty cool.
Yeah, we can do that. It'd be
Okay.
fun. We'll make it happen.
All right. I will be back on in the chat in a couple minutes.
All right, my
All right,
friend.
brother.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks
you.
for coming on, man.
Mhm.
Such a great guy.
He is.
If you guys are not subscribed to Jimmy there in Spooky Appalachia, please go over and do that. Reminiscent of some reports of Brown Mountain Lights. Yeah, right. The only weird thing is this just started happening to him just literally less than a month ago. And we don't know what or why, you know, what's going on. I do know that
Larry Potter's in the house.
Hey,
We're back to having
Larry.
two Larrys in the chat again.
Larry and Larry. Here's the thing. We've got a lot of members out there, and we've got a lot of members who are seeing the same things. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but there's definitely a pattern here.
Ike Faber's in the house.
Ike's here. Hey, Ike. So I don't know what that is, but if you guys are seeing something, anything like that, Donna, Hough. Oh, for Chana.
Donna, thank you. Much appreciated. And it gonna get you added in over here.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, please. Is Patrick in here tonight? I don't
Not
know.
yet.
I wonder if he's busy.
Two new family members joining into the
Yes,
fold.
brand
tonight.
new family
Great.
members that get to be mentioned on here and on future episodes and on the wall. I'm actually building a wall to put over there on our on the actual radio section of the website, and your names will be inscribed on that wall, which is pretty cool. I just have to do it. I have a lot of
There
stuff.
we go. There's that ticker.
There you go.
Got them added up.
Awesome.
Gonna butcher that last name. I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. Rachel Sinkoff, is that right? Or Seinkoff?
Seinkoff. I don't know.
Yeah, yes, it was jalapeno peppers in Beth's cheese. But Rachel's in the chat. Patrick Noble's in the house too tonight. What's going on, brother? Good to have you back as well.
One I saw was like an orange donut. There you go.
Oh, that's
Patrick,
an interesting one. So
what
when you're saying an orange donut, you're talking about like there's a black circle in the middle, essentially, like just like a ring of lights,
like a torus with a hole in the center, or was it like, squished?
like an orange donut. That's cool and sounds like a halo shaped, like like Finding the Trackway had said.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of orbs, right, Joe? We started this. I mean, about a year or so ago, we started kind of taking notice, and we saw in our reports more and more orb sightings. And we talked about that a few times. Like I said, you guys, if you are seeing these things, please, just seriously, I'm not even joking about this. Don't chase them. Don't go out there and don't run toward it. I know people who have thought about doing that. It's the smartest thing that you didn't. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't think that that's a wise thing to do.
Yeah, it's it doesn't seem to have good results.
Sometimes it doesn't have good results,
especially according to Gary Nolan and the reports that he's released about the blue shift lights
and Kit Green. Kit Green,
what kind of radiation pulses those can send out.
Yeah, Kit Green did a very good study on that for the National Institute of was it the National Institute of Defense? I believe it was NID, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was NID.
Yeah, it was a NID report, and that was enough for me, pretty much.
Terry McCullough says, my son caught something in his garage last week. It looked to be about the size of an orange. It seemed to have come through his door and then moved around. Lasted about 10 seconds. Did he have that on like a security camera footage or anything like that we could see, Terry?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. The amount of orb sightings has definitely gone up, and that's not just here.
Yeah.
That's talking to Stan. He's saying the same things. There's orbs. These orbs have appeared in people's houses, like you just saw right there, for example. And they're almost always about softball to to basketball size. That's typically what they are.
Octopus with us as friends says it blew my mind when I saw it because it was it blew my friend's mind when we saw it because I was telling him about all of this magic stuff and aliens and lights that they see in the sky. Then we both saw this bright white orb cruise away from the area. That
yeah,
that's the genie bottle effect.
There's the synchronicity. There it is. That's the thing. And I remember reading a book ages ago, and this was let's see if I can access my brain here for a second. It was I think it was one of Ray Fowler's books. It might have been the Watcher series. And he's talking about, you know, he comes to this realization at one point, and he's driving, and he's like, could it really be that simple? And he's like thinking about, you know, the phenomena, and all of a sudden he says there's this bright flash in the sky, and lightning lights up, and it's like at that point he realizes, you know, this is bigger than, you know, anything. And see, Tucker, we all had our moments. It's not just you. So the thing being is there seems to be this awareness, whatever this thing is, these things are, it is very much aware of when you take notice of it.
So Fishbelly says small plane with cabin lights appear like that, descending and flying towards you. They just appear to hang, but eventually turn and the nav lights show. Yeah, that is the telltale sign for nav lights, because the nav lights, especially landing lights, they're blindingly white and bright. Well, and when they are flying towards you, they do just appear to hang.
I'll go with one better than that. I mean, because the number one thing is it's a drone, and that's not a drone unless somebody has you know, taken a lot of time and effort to equip their drone with bright green lights and turn off all the other lights that are on it, and just to mess with him at 3 o'clock in the morning. They don't know he's even up at 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way.
Linda Sigmund has joined the chat. I just jumped over to Facebook to check. So that's Facebook user there.
Hey, Linda, we're talking about orbs right now.
Orbs and UAPs.
Orbs and UAPs. Oh my.
FindingTheTrackWay says my orb sighting kind of goes off the rails in the full story. I can imagine. Julie Bud, keeping it weird and free. Much love. Absolutely. Absolutely. Terri, you're awesome. Thank you. I'm going
to go check that. You guys
go take a look at that, Ron.
I'm on it.
I'll hold up the deck here.
All
right. Yes, we are off the rails. That is basically, that's what this show should be titled, Wild and Weird Radio Off the Rails. Because we can tend to get that way sometimes on the live. Octopus says, I love off the rails stuff the most. Agreed.
Well, we never know where it's going to go.
Intriguing. Theresa says, yay, Julie. Thanks. And absolutely, Julie, you are awesome. We very much appreciate you. Again, I can't remember if you did a few weeks back, but send your mailing address over to wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. Then we've got Adam Good, Sky Daddy. Absolutely. The Sky Daddy had been summoned. So with some of these orb sightings, I think one of the most intriguing things that we're getting is that, one, they're happening everywhere. They're happening whether you're in rural areas or if you are in highly densely populated areas. We're seeing a more concentrated sighting set probably when you're in the rural areas, but that could also have to do with minimal light pollution, similar to what Larry had said earlier, that, you know, he couldn't really see anything, didn't really have very many sightings on his way because of the light pollution. And Beth brings up a good point. It's way more frequent now these days. And I'm not sure if it's more frequent now or if it's just not taboo to talk about, because it used to be a very, very sketchy thing to talk about. It wasn't something that you would just bring up in conversation over coffee with your buddies, because it would instantly, like, oh, okay, all right, Fox Mulder, good job. But now, you know, we're seeing this more accepted nature with the general population over the UAP topic, because there's been There's been an opening up. They've opened up Pandora's box with the government, and they said, yeah, their UAPs are legitimate, and we don't know what they are. So that just adds to this credibility that
Demons.
these sightings are occurring. But they're demons. They're demons.
That's what Tucker seems to think. They're demons. So
okay. Terri says the crazy thing is that it actually reflects off of the safe.
Okay.
So it's emitting ambient light similar to what
up.
Dave Green's
I just got
did
this up.
off the
So
water.
we're going to pull this in, and we're going to do a screen share. And let me open this up, make it a little bigger for you guys so you can see it. Okay, I got it. And present.
So Finding says, talking Woodknock to the North Power, I see something to the nth power. Woodknock to the nth power. I then see something in the mirror, two forms in the woods, stepping back and then seeing the orb. Okay, so there's a large safe right there.
I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys.
That's clear as day.
See if I can. Oh, it's a little too big. Hang on. Okay. Oh. Almost. Hang on. Okay, got it. I need to make this to where I can get to my controls.
Thanks, Brandy. She's going to tag us in a video of something similar.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so
probably similar to Jim's video.
I'm going to,
I'm
let's go in here and go to 150%.
That's what I was thinking too, Tommy. Nice safe.
Yeah, it is a nice safe. It's a very nice safe. Too much. Hang on. 200%. Nope, 400%. Yeah, okay, there we go. You can see it
Agree,
there, right,
Fish
guys?
Belly. You would think demons had better things to do.
I would think so. You guys can see it, right?
Yeah. I'm going to enlarge my screen, so I'm going to lose comments for a second to watch this video.
Here we go.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
This is just like Dave's video.
It is almost exactly like Dave's video. Huh. Wow. All right.
The garage door's shut.
Hang on. Right here. Right here. Okay. Okay. I thought it was making a reflection in the safe. It's not.
That's light, isn't it?
It's not making a reflection in the safe at all.
It's an artifact.
I don't know what that is. Hang on. I want to go in, grab us some tools. It's time to do what we do.
Okay, well, here's something interesting. While you're doing that, if you guys look at the safe right now, you can see that there is a light on because the safe has reflections on it currently.
Right here.
Right? You can see the reflections on the safe. There's 3 right across about, I don't know. They're visible. They're the big white spots. Okay. And then there's that one little one about 3/4 of the way down that is in a angle that goes with that light. You can see it moving. Is that a reflection or is that's just an artifact of the light? Isn't it? So look at that. It goes in a circle. Circles around.
It's circling right there.
So it makes a circle.
Yeah, it's done a little circle right there. And look here. It's going at an S curve. Look.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yep, it's in an S curve.
That's an S curve. It's coming almost straight from that garage door. I'm assuming that this is when the thing got triggered, is right about there, right?
Probably.
Which would seem like something came through that garage door and went over here near the safe, did a little circle. And unfortunately, that's when the camera quit recording because it only records for so long.
For a few seconds.
Yeah.
Because normally they're 3-second clips?
It's I don't know how long it is. About 3, maybe. I want to try to enhance this a little bit.
That says 10 seconds.
10 seconds? Yeah, I want to enhance this a little bit so we can see.
Okay, back to the comments over here.
Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
All right. Now, Brandy just shared the Facebook post over on the page. We'll go check that out here once the show's over. Well, probably not when the show's over. I'll probably go do that here in just a minute. Beth says, that's a great one. Tommy says, well, now. And then Ike says, what's in the safe? I bet it goes pew. Then, let's see. Spirits are contributed to the white ones. Sometimes I just don't know about the other colored ones. Well, this wouldn't necessarily be white. You got to remember this is recording in infrared, so
This is
that
infrared, so we
that
don't
thing
really,
could be any color under the sun. It's just showing up white.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't know what color it is.
Donna says, "Whoa."
I'm going to go in a little
Octopus
bit on
said,
this.
"Often these videos are spider webs and dust particles."
Often,
but
yep.
I'm a believer, but I'm just saying, yeah, and that's good. It's good to remain skeptical and look at this stuff.
No, that's good.
That's not a spider web.
Nope.
I've seen the spider web ones. Those can be.
That's not a spider web. I don't know what it is.
Yes, and Tony says no shine from that orb. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
so
the
let's see
interesting part.
if we can clear that up.
I thought it was at first, but it's just an artifact coming across the lens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
that's what I'm seeing.
Beth says checking what's in that safe. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Where is the exposure? Here's exposure. Okay. So
Fish belly. Wouldn't projected light, even if it reflected, shine on the wall and safe and corner? Yeah, it would.
that's what
You
we're
would
looking
see
for,
that.
buddy.
You would expect that. That light splash would hit everything
That's exactly
in
what I
a
would
general
expect.
area.
But we're not seeing that with
We're not seeing
infrared
that with this.
sources. We've seen this before.
Theresa says it's clearly a nosy survival fairy checking for your OPSEC. Exactly.
It's a prepper fairy. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's about as good as I can get it.
Terri says it was midday and the garage has no windows.
No windows, yeah. So there's no light in here that could be moving around. There's no cars that can be driving by to bounce off of the actual light on the
Tony says
security
everything's
camera.
a laser pointer tonight.
Laser pointer.
Jim was a laser pointer. The other thing, and this is also a laser pointer. I mean, it could be a laser pointer, but like, where are they standing? Because that
Well,
camera gets a really good
Here's
shot.
my thing.
He would. Why would he? Is he hoaxing himself?
What you would have to do to make this work as a laser pointer, what you would have to do,
You'd have to have a mirror
You'd have to have a
because you would have to be
It's not
in frame to
if
be
it's
hit
a
it
laser
this way.
pointer. It's got to be shooting onto a pane of glass, which has to be in front of the camera, and that's going to reflect back at your. At some point, it's going to reflect back at this camera, and it's going to just be a whiteout. That's not happening because look, it's going over this black. If that's a laser, it's going to change gradient right here. It does not change at all. It doesn't change anything.
And that circle, like what's that circle?
That's wild.
That
clearly
circle's
see it.
Interesting.
What's a three-dimensional arc? I can clearly see it as a three-dimensional arc too. That's not.
Yeah, Terri says that he sent it to me and wanted my opinion. It's weird.
That's a cool one. I mean, that is a cool one, guys. This is probably the second best one that.
Brandy said the video that she shared was also an orb thing too. Octopus, thanks so much for sharing and the finding. That really blows my mind and very eerie hearing how similar it was to my experience. Talking about finding the Trackways experience. We'll read over that here in a little bit because it's very similar to what happened to me.
I was trying to see.
Boone says I heard my first wood knock a few days ago, hiking with my dog in a swamp down below my house. Uh-oh. You know what time it is, Boone.
Let's see if we can get in there. Let's see if we can go in a little closer. This is a really good image, by the way.
Could be, Larry, but that'd be a lot of work just to send to your mom.
That is a really good image. Take the sharpness back down to where it was. Sharpness to 0.
Donna, I think this was just captured on a security camera.
Yeah, what brand is this, guys?
It says down on the bottom when you zoom it out.
Okay, I want to.
It's down in the bottom left corner.
I want to see this arc. Look at that. There's a really good example of that. It's almost a corkscrew. Look at that.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
It comes in. It does a little bank right here, changes directions, and changes back on itself. That is impressive.
Scott Holbrook says probably a new ATF gun spy too. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Terry says he was at work and his camera alerted the movement.
Wow.
Patrick said sent you a picture on Facebook. Which did you send it to the Wild and Weird
That's
Radio or Wild and
fantastic.
Weird WV or one of us individually?
That is just fantastic. I mean, that is
That's a
amazing.
really interesting one.
That's a good capture is what that is. And so this happens. We get these people. Anybody? I'm going to keep this up in the background. Anybody else has anything they want to send in? Go ahead and send them in. What's really fantastic about this, to me, is that we do have all these little, audio cameras now, and they're set up everywhere. And I mean, the resolution's not that great. That's the only bad thing, but we're getting better with that. And I think some of the, like we just saw, this one, the resolution on this is pretty good. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's a really, really good one.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Oh crap! It's
About that time?
yeah. So everybody that's hanging on here,
All right, guys, y'all have hung in to the good stuff. You had a really great starter here. So what we're going to do is we're going to not press pause, but it's going to look weird because we're actually going to cut this last half for the actual audio portion of the show because we're going to go into our year-end predictions and talk about all the stuff that we had done last year and how it went forward this year. Oh boy, just hang in there. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Wild and Weird Radio, everybody. This is our year in review episode. We have had an absolutely amazing year this year, Ron.
Yes, we have. It's been an amazing year,
and we've made tons of appearances to do presentations, tons of shows that we've gone to set up and met people, taken reports. We have collected so much more data this year than we have in previous years that it is absolutely mind-blowing. And without further ado, guys, we hope you've had a fantastic year. We think you guys are absolutely amazing. We've got a tremendous lineup of people who have supported and stood behind Wild and Weird Radio this year, who have stepped up, who have said, we're going to sponsor the show. We're going to help you guys push this thing along. We're going to make sure that it stays free for eons and eons to come. And that would be this show brought to you by Adam Good, Theresa of Theresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State, Dewey Edwards, Spooky Appalachia, Larry Hose, Guitarchains Craig, Travis Aurednik at the Deep End Antiques, Geoffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, BigfootLittlefoot, Tommy Swiger, Terri Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, FindingTheTrackWay, L.W. Marshall, Donna Hough. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Give yourselves a big round of applause. I know we do. Absolutely. And you guys who are listening right now, this is that time travel thing, right? So you guys who are listening right now, go back in time. It's easy. We have a time machine that's called YouTube. You just go over there, hit our channel, go to the live. It's not live now. It's not, I mean, it's live now, but it's not live. Wow. See how that weird that is? It's not live for you, but it's live for us. So go to that, the last live, and you're going to get to see the whole first part of this show.
The whole first hour.
The whole first hour.
Sightings and video analysis. Holy cow. Yep.
Everybody's still contributing.
Let's do the time warp again.
There you go. So yeah, it's just been an amazing year. And wow, what a show to end it on. This is the last show of 2023. And we're going to be going into some of our predictions in a little bit, and we're going to see how close we got to the target is what we're going to do with our predictions from last year. Because every year we both at the end of the year will make these predictions, and so far we've been pretty much spot on. So we're going to see how close we got on this
scarily
one.
So.
We're going to see how close we got on this one. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about what just happened. for the folks in actual radio land versus, video land here, which you are going to want to watch this, believe me, because some of the video it's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just saw what appeared to be an orb, right?
Yeah, it's very similar to Dave Green's footage that he had sent to us earlier this year.
Yeah, well, it appears to be an orb. It was on a security camera. The camera gets tripped, and boom, there it is. It's floating around. It's doing this little corkscrew thing and disappears because the camera quits recording, unfortunately. But what we notice about this, and that it is reminiscent of the Green case, is that it's not seeming to reflect itself into a very bright. There's a safe there. There's a safe there, a massive gun safe that's there, and it's metal, and it's shiny because you can see the room lights, but this thing's not reflecting off of it. And this is the same thing we had with with Dave's orb, where it wasn't reflecting in the metal and in the water bowl, right?
Right. Because you would think that it would have actually been like a focal point of light.
Mm-hmm.
And in this safe footage, it's the garage footage. It was, the movement is what's the craziest part.
Mm-hmm.
There is a actual corkscrew type movement, a spiral that this thing takes, where it moves farther from the frame and then closer into frame before it makes its exit. It very compelling, very, very compelling piece of footage.
Oh, I think so. I think it's absolutely compelling. And it makes you think, because it's like, what are we seeing? Is it a reflection? Well, if it is, there's no lights in there. There's no door. There's no windows on the garage door, right? So it's not a car light. It's not anything outside that's shining off of it. And I just don't know. I don't know what that is, but it's not the only one. These are occurring more and more lately.
Yeah.
I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Please don't approach these if you see them. Okay. That doesn't mean that it's going to zap you or, hurt you. It could. I mean, we don't know. Let's be real, because, there is that evidence that says that, getting too close to some of these things may not be the best thing for your health.
Yep.
So let's not go there. Let's not find out. That's not a data set we want.
No, the possibility of extreme bursts of radiation that could emanate from these things is a very real phenomena. Kit Green, Gary Nolan, several other researchers have documented these things and spoke openly about the near field radiation and blue shift light that can occur, that it causes extreme radiation bursts. Not something that you want to be exposed to or deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not something to play with. And that's why we always, tell the researchers, please get yourself a little Geiger counter, take it with you.
So Ron, what's your favorite part of this year? What's been a highlight for you?
Oh boy. Well, you remember the guy in ID4, the old pilot?
Yeah.
You remember him when the aliens landed and he quit drinking and he said, I've been saying it for years. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole year. And it's about to get crazier if we're right. But no, I think probably the highlight, possibly, I would go with the Grush story.
Yeah.
Or at least the momentum that the Grush story caused, I should say.
The snowball effect that occurred shortly after.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I think that's probably the big one. I think that was the major one. And there's a couple in there that, we've just kind of forgot. We'll talk about this later.
I think for me, one of the highlights was a more personal highlight that we had as the collective, and that was winning the previous years and being announced in January 1st that we were the Bigfoot Researchers of the Year for 2022. That was a pretty big deal. That was something that we didn't expect. But I mean, it was very interesting, you know.
Sure.
It was
Sure.
kind of surreal. It was really one of those moments when it happened that we were like, really?
Yeah.
Alright,
Also, as far as personal highlights, I would say that just the amount of shows we got to do this year, and
Yeah.
the amount of
the people we got to meet, the new friends that we have. We have this whole new collection and of collective family, really, that
And
are
let's not
now
forget,
part of what we do. We read off a bunch of their names, but then there's even more that just hang out with us that are here, because this portion is live, guys. So there's going to be segments where we're going to cut away and we're going to be posting up people's comments here just in a moment.
Yeah.
But the the family that we've put together in this community of like-minded individuals, like Octopus with No Friends, who's new here with us, Beth Duncan, Brandy, Terri McCullough, we've got Tommy Swiger, Rachel Signoff, then Boone Follett. Boone's been part of the family for years. Finding the Trackway, and Patrick Noble, Tony Breeden, all these people that have just showed up. Donna Hough, another one. Larry Potter, these are all folks that have jumped on board, and Brandy Vincent, Megan, they're people who've jumped on board with us, and they've subscribed to the channel, but they've also, become friends of ours. It's not just one of those things like, oh, you're following the channel. It's cool. No, we talk to a lot of these people on a weekly basis, and not just here, that it was weird because for the longest time as an adult, you go through this phase where you're out of high school for so long. I've been out of high school now for 22 years, or 21 years. And, you lose all those high school friends very quickly afterwards. Then you go to college or whatever you do, your job, and you get friends there, but then you move the job and you leave the friends behind and all that stuff. And your circle gets pretty small the older you get. And then all of a sudden we found our place in this arena where that friend circle went from being small to getting some size to it again. And we see these people on the road wherever we go. We see them now at the grocery store. We'll see them out and about when we're going anywhere else shopping. Yeah. We'll see them when we hit the go into different states to do these conferences, and it's like these little mini family reunions every month. And it's great.
Well, the biggest thing I think that happened this past year is we did this. We created the live.
Yeah.
And got it off the ground. And that's thanks to these people.
Jolie Buck says, I found you guys through Small Town Monsters, and I'm glad I did. We're glad you did too.
Yeah.
Small Town Monsters is such a huge integral part of the Wild and Weird family, because we've known Seth since we started, and he's been such a great friend to us.
He's a dork.
And always supported what we've done.
Complete dork. Still very angry.
Absolute dork. But the thing is, we dork out over the same stuff.
I'm still angry at him because no Civil War ghosts.
No civil. I know, man. He missed the mark. No Civil War ghosts.
We're gonna have to make sure that happens.
He's gonna have to make it happen eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna have to happen. We're gonna have to talk, Seth.
We are.
We're having a talk. So
we will drag you, and we will force Civil War ghosts upon you, Seth.
I'm gonna beat the Civil War ghosts out of him. Is what I'm gonna do.
The thing with Seth, we share similar interests in the paranormal and the strange and bizarre, but me and Seth talk more about Transformers and G.I. Joes and Ninja Turtles. But, oh man. Ada Cox says she found us through Dave Spinks, another good friend.
Yes.
And, it's Beth says, I'm lucky to be a part of this. Y'all have really been a huge impact on me. I can't thank Ron and Joe enough. Well, we love you, Beth. You're part of the family and part of the collective. Even more important, it's great having you as a friend and family, but the stuff that you contribute in the data pool and in the research is just top notch.
I think it's just important that people, they get recognized for what they're doing. And we have a lot of these folks out there who are doing.
Yeah.
And, I like it when they share it with us. I like it because and Tommy got a good sense of this. He shared some stuff to social media, and it went in a weird direction.
As
say
it
that
does on social
as it does.
media.
And he shared some stuff here, and it did not go in a weird direction. In fact, the community here actually tried to help as much as they could. They were supportive. They sent in, their own accounts. They made them feel, look, you're not alone, which is what we do. That's our number one thing. You're not alone. Anyone who's experienced stuff, and there's so many of you that have, that's what we're here for. And what's Donna say?
Donna says, I've only begun watching in the last few months, and these live chats have been very therapeutic for me.
See, there
Thank
you
you for being here, and thank you to all of those who participate.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean,
That's
I
why
do
we do it.
hear, I do hear that it is like therapy for some. I mean, I think it's funny, but hey, it's what we do.
Deuster said that Dee and I were sitting at a stop sign at an old country road earlier in the year and witnessed a very bright orb streak by, and it went through the signage.
See, there you go.
That's a trip. Yeah, Tommy said, disclaimer, do not share on social media.
Right?
Julie Bug says, it's nice to be part of a group where everyone is open-minded and no one is judged by sharing experiences. It's really hard to find a place that lets people share without judgment. It is, and
It really is.
and the thing is, we go through everything that's put forward objectively. You had an experience. We believe that these people who are seeing things and having experiences are having experiences. Where things can get a little wonky is what exactly that experience was, and are we attributing it to something that it could be something else?
Okay, it's going to get a little weird for you folks who are listening on the actual podcast side right now. You're not going to understand what's happening. You'll have to watch the video to figure that out, but just bear with us for like 5 seconds.
Brace yourself.
So
Wild and Weird Radio, you can thank that interruption to Scott Holbrook. Here's to orbs and a circle of friends.
See, $20 for orbs and a circle of friends. Bless you, my friend. Bless you. And that was Prince Adam there. He blesses us all as well from.
Yes, Adam Good.
Yes, Adam Good.
Adam goes, me.
Yes, you. Exactly. Thank you.
Julie Bug says, it's also a big plus that you're in my home state. And off topic, WVU kicked North Carolina's butt yesterday. That they did. They stomped them deep into that mayonnaise bowl.
Oh, wait. We have to talk about this.
We do. Right, you're thinking about the after game effects, right? Yeah, the same thing I am. Ron, go for it.
No, I mean, we have to talk about this. These brilliant individuals who thought that it would be smart to have mayonnaise and pepperoni rolls.
Right?
What?
I mean, Duke's mayonnaise is good, all right? Duke's mayonnaise is the only mayonnaise that I use in this house. But
it's great, yes. But
pepperoni rolls?
All right, I want to know.
Pepperoni rolls are already perfect as they are. They don't need mayonnaise added to them. All right.
Some of the comments in the paper were just absolutely hilarious, by the way. Larry, bless you.
It's going to get weird again.
Larry, this is just for you.
Busting out the U.
Well, thank you, Larry, for that generous donation. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, Dukes, love it.
Angie said some church went viral for saying it was an abomination to the Lord. In this case, I'm going to have to agree.
It was the best. Their comment was the absolute best. If you can find the link to that, Angie, can you please send that over? Because I want to read that if we can find it.
Yeah.
It was the best. I mean, they nailed it. Absolutely. It was an abomination. it could not be forgiven, I believe, was one of the
Yeah, it was blasphemy.
yeah, it was. But in all seriousness, has anyone ever tried? I mean, I would never thought about this in a million years. Has anyone ever tried mayonnaise with their pepperoni roll?
Teresa says generations of Italian miners are rolling in their graves. Yes, they are. No, I've never put mayonnaise on a pepperoni roll. I think the farthest I have stretched my pepperoni roll is a little bit of cheese.
Well, yeah,
But
cheese.
usually I'm a purist. I am pepperoni and Italian bread.
Right. That's how it usually goes. I mean, I have dipped mine in hot sauce before. I'm not gonna lie, but I like hot sauce, so you know.
Brandy, some of those tags, like when they show up in here, they don't actually show up in our feed. I'm gonna have to jump over to Facebook and take a look at that, Brandy.
Oh yeah, these comments are just over the top. I want to go look at that real quick, actually.
But yeah, guys, like it's mayonnaise, and then the very end of the game, when instead of Gatorade, they poured a bucket of mayonnaise on this man.
Yeah.
Like, are you for real?
I don't know how I feel about that.
I would be so mad.
Did he know it was going to happen? That's my question.
You had to, because you could just tell. He was sitting there in the chair, and he was just like, he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And he had braced himself, and it was just, he was committed. He had to, right? And he knew what was coming because,
okay,
that was just too much. Too much.
All right, let me see here.
Beth says, "Dear Lord, please cast your wrath on those mayo-eating idiots." I can hear them now.
No, here it is.
Duke's probably paid really good money to the announcers.
They did.
Because every 5 minutes they were talking about Duke's mayonnaise, and they were doing a Duke's mayonnaise taste test, trying different things. And then one of the guys, after they dumped the mayonnaise on the coach, went over with something and scooped mayonnaise off of a human and ate it.
Okay. All right.
I'm done.
I'm going to now read this. Okay. This is from the Episcopal Diocese of West Virginia. All right. It's come to our attention that during tonight's Duke Mayo Bowl, in which WVU competed and won, sports commentators were seen putting Duke's mayo on pepperoni rolls. Let it be known that putting mayo on pepperoni rolls is an abomination in the eyes of the Lord. Those who perpetrate this heinous act have committed a mortal sin, which can only be forgiven by special dispensation from the clergy of West Virginia. Let me see. Clergy are permitted to withhold absolution until proper contrition is made, either by burning a couch or making a pilgrimage to the Mothman statue.
That's the best.
This applies only to those who have put mayo on your pepperoni rolls. The use of Miracle Whip is also unforgivable. Now,
well, there is also one other thing that could possibly get you absolution, and that is if you come to Wildwood Radio and you make a donation to receive the blessing. Sky Daddy.
That's right.
The Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey can.
Yes.
Grant absolution.
Yes, he has absolution
for your
powers.
Unbridled offense to pepperoni rolls.
Yes, he has the absolution of powers as well. So yeah, that happened. I mean, it was just fantastic. That was fantastic. And I thought that they did.
So now that's out of the way,
they handled it so great.
Do you want to start getting into some of the stuff that we covered this year?
Yeah. Did you see that? That's a blue flash. I feel funny. What are we doing?
You want to start getting into some of the predictions that we made last year and how that went?
What?
Can you hear me?
Who? No,
Did the mid get you?
I'm messing with you. I got beamed, son. Yeah, let's do that. I've got, let's see. Here's our predictions. What a coincidence. I have a little clip of our predictions.
Beth says she's going to go live with y'all and eat a pepperoni roll and mayo just so she can repent.
No, no eating mayo and pepperoni rolls on us. Ain't gonna be here
You're
when that lightning
forgiven.
strikes. When that lightning strikes, I don't want to be near you.
I want to see a Chris Hemsworth Sky Daddy thingy. Use Thor.
Could happen. There
It
could
could.
be like hammers thrown around. I don't know.
Angie says, I second that, Julie. And then
Uh-oh.
Julie says, let's take a vote, Angie.
Okay. Well, it looks like it's going to be Battle of the
Battle of the Sky Daddies.
Battle of the Sky Daddies is about to fall upon us. Adam, get ready. So every year, like I said, we've made our predictions, and we've been doing that ever since we had the first show, the first
The
radio
Facebook.
show.
It was
Yeah.
it was before the first show. We would talk about some of this stuff on New Year's
True.
with Facebook Lives.
Yep, that's true. And we've gotten them pretty right up to this point. There was only like a couple that we've been off on, and it's only been by a few, few months, if that. And I'd like to say that we've probably got the same track record. I would say if we were like in the stock market, you would probably want to do what we do based upon what I've seen. I don't play stock market. I'm just saying. So anyway, here's our predictions from last year. You guys ready for this?
Let it roll.
There's going to be a major UFO event this year.
Boggy agrees.
Yeah, see? So major
I'm going to
UFO
predict there's going to be a major UFO event, though, within the next 4 months.
What? 3.
Three? You think three?
3 months.
Okay.
3 months.
March
And-
is always hot, so you could be on it.
And it will be all over the web, and it's going to make people for the first day say things like, wow, can you believe it? And then they'll just forget.
Predictions. I think that we're going to get more acceptance of the really, really, really freaking weird stuff.
Agreed. How good do you think we did there?
Well, I mean,
I've got proof, but how about
we
you
fact
guys?
checked it in real time.
How about you guys? How close do you think we got to the mark on that? And do any of you remember the giant mothership that was there and then suddenly we don't talk about that no more? I'm wondering if anyone, did you forget about that?
Yeah, because that was just in the news and gone immediately.
And it was on everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And then gone.
Yeah, it just such a surreal couple months there right after we had that conversation and released that episode for everybody.
So that's what we predicted. And this is what happened. I'd say that's success rate, probably 100%.
So anybody who's listening on Audio Land, you guys need to jump over to the YouTube and just watch the first little bit here of this show because oh man, that clip right there had all of the clippings and news reports that were released regarding what the first guess was about the UFO subject. And boy, did we hit that one on the head.
Yeah, we did. And I had to, oh yeah, that's another thing I had to do for you guys. I couldn't find any good music for that, so I had to make some. So that was me.
Men in Black says it's fake news.
Bless you, Men in Black.
It's fake news, guys.
So yeah, we got, I think we got pretty close is what I'm thinking with that. I think we got really, really close, and we hit it within just a month. I think.
Yeah.
It
Came a month early because it hit February. Yeah. It started in February.
And I said March.
So you had said March. I said 3 to 4 months. You said 3, and then it happened in 2.
Yeah, it literally did. So that one got us. But other than that, we called everything else pretty much straight up, right down to the weirdness. And that is, that's just happened within the past 3 or 4 weeks. We really started hearing things about that.
Yeah.
With Tucker having his moment of ontological shock.
Yeah.
And,
on TV, no less.
On TV. No less.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to address this because I know he's getting a bad rap. Even I was kind of furious at him when he first did it, because it's like, why would just keep your mouth shut? Just keep your mouth shut. Don't go out there and say something. Just keep your mouth shut. If that's the way that you feel, then don't. Why are you? Because when you say, I can't tell you, what's the first thing someone's going to say? Oh, you can tell me.
Yeah.
You can tell me.
Yep.
So here's the thing. I get what he's saying. I understand what he's saying fully, 100%. And one day, if I ever write that big book, you will too. But I'm not. And that's not you got to go buy it. No, it's not that. It's just that I'm not there yet. Not because you don't deserve to know, but because I don't have enough proof. And if I don't have enough proof, I'm not about to go out and start changing people's perception on reality any more than we already do.
We don't need another Zechariah Sitchin.
Exactly. We don't need another, it could be taken out of context so easily. So I understand why he doesn't want to go down certain things, but I don't understand some of it in the fact that he's just going on all these other shows and saying things like that. And that's not cool. You don't need to do that. I get it. You don't want to say anything, then don't say anything. Just that simple.
It's painting a really weird picture.
Yeah.
And I agree with some of his stance. Like he's very confused and he's not taking a very direct position. He's being very elusive. He has kind of pointed the direction that he is inclined to believe, but he's not going out directly saying what it is.
Well, I don't think he knows what it is.
Which
thing.
There's what I'm kind of getting at there is that he doesn't necessarily know what it is, but he's not trying to say what it is, which is commendable.
I agree with this 100%. He's not saying it's, demons, archons, fallen angels, straight out. And he's not saying it's a Palladian mothership with rogue, fifth columnists on board. Some are that direct, by the way. That's not just I'm not just making that up.
So when we're looking at this UFO phenomena and the future, because there was another thing that will
there you go.
Yeah, don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
On Lanham.
Just don't say anything.
When we're looking at this UFO topic and we're looking into the future, because we're going to save the prediction. This isn't the prediction.
No,
part.
This isn't. No, that's later.
That's later. But when we're looking at it towards the future, the perception that is going to be given, I think, is going to be very misleading at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Confusing.
Confusing. And I think that's where we're going to find ourselves, is in a really, really confusing spot. But and that is the reason I'm saying that's not a prediction is because that's obvious. Like we don't have to guess at that. Like there's so much that's already been confusing this year that has been a shock and awe kind of thing to the general public or ontological shock. It's a given. There's going to be things that will be dividing lines.
Yeah.
So Beth is actively having some kind of activity at her place out there at Wineberry.
Well, surprise.
Shock, right?
Nope. Not even a little
And
bit.
Rachel is the research partner she's got down there. It's one of her good friends that goes out and does the research with us and helps us out down that way as well. So they're communicating back and forth to to get there.
That's funny.
So with that said, I think is there another clip, or was that the one?
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay, so
yeah.
I had made a guess that Bigfoot was going to become start to become more accepted in the mainstream.
I think you hit that.
And with that one, we got an announcement from North Carolina State University. They're running a massive DNA profile. Darby Orcott is the head of that down there and is running the lab. I can't wait to hear what he has to say here coming up at OBC in May. I think that's going to be just a trip. And I'm curious to see what kind of findings that they've already come out with, because now this project has been going for, I think, 6 months, and they should be starting to pull some results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we're going to see, like you said, a little more on this coming up, and that should be changing some things.
Yeah, because you have a university, a large university that is taking a look. Mm-hmm. They're not saying one way or the other, but they're taking a look and they're giving it an honest shake, and they're doing DNA profiles of soil samples, hair samples, fecal samples that are anomalous. And that data can be used for multiple other things. You might find other species that might have been thought to have been extinct in the area that you're finding remains and DNA from that would indicate there's a population. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot that can be garnered from this type of acceptance, or just at least an acknowledgement that there's some other stuff that we don't understand, and there's a reason we should look into it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Fishbelly says the best description that he's heard recently is that this is a large haystack of BS, and we're looking for the needles of truth. That's fantastic.
I think that's probably the best analogy that you could come up with, Fish, and it's accurate. There's a lot of misleading going on. That's the way I see
Julie
it.
Bug says, is there any info on this that I can look up? The North Carolina University study? Yeah. Send me a message over on Facebook, and I will send you the link to that study, so that way you can take a look at it. Because it's all public. It's right out there in the open. But I do have the links to that, and I'll send them over to you. I just don't have them available to splash them on the screen right now. What would be one of the most disheartening things? Because we're always positive. What was one of the most disheartening kind of just more or disappointing sort of things that we'd come across this year, in your opinion?
Disappointing things?
Yeah, disappointing or disheartening.
You mean
because you're in review, you got to take the good with the bad.
You mean the field in general, like things?
Yeah, the field in general.
Okay, so Arrow.
Yeah.
Arrow, and it was also
that was easily number one on my list as well, because that's what I was going to say was Arrow. If you didn't say it,
problem,
I was
right. So
so it's a unanimous. We both agree. Arrow was the biggest disappointment.
Arrow, yeah.
Because we were told at first this new department was going to be heading off these UFO reports, that they were going to be looking into it, that it wasn't going to be a Project Blue Book 2.0. And what did we get?
We did get Blue Book 2.0.
Yeah.
And then we got a contradiction after that. We got Blue Book 2.0. And then after, I guess after Kirkpatrick got tired of being, pushed around and basically, told, look, we know you're lying. He said, I'm out. And when he left, he basically contradicted himself as he was leaving and said
Yeah.
he thinks that, they're going to find, evidence of extraterrestrial or whatever.
That was
involvement
his exit
with
interview,
the
essentially.
UAPs. So it's like, these games, I mean, the games are just laughable at this point, guys.
So Tommy brings up, did the scientists find proof of Bigfoot in Kentucky? Thought that he heard that. Now he's mentioning the findings that were part of the Expedition Bigfoot TV show, where they had found anomalous DNA out there in Kentucky, in eastern Kentucky. And they did find some, I think it was troglodyte, which is chimpanzee. And then Men in Black, of course, they love arrow. Arrow. They love the arrow. But taking the good, like I said, taking the good with the bad. We talked about the good stuff there. With Arrow was just a black eye, man. It was a big black eye.
It really was.
And it's one of these things where we deserved a little bit better, but I don't know what we expected.
I really didn't expect much more than that. But, coming from a year where we were shooting down UAPs left and right to start it off, I mean, it seems like a fitting thing, doesn't it? I mean, Roswell 2.0, we can't talk about Roswell. But
that was a good one. Sorry, we can't talk about Roswell.
Can't talk about Roswell.
Can't talk about Roswell.
We can talk about all these other things. We can talk about these crashes that took place. We can talk about ancient aliens being real, but we can't talk about Roswell.
Right.
There's a lot of theories as to why we can't talk about Roswell. They're starting to come out, and I think that we're going to hear a little bit about that soon.
Abbott Hoffman says Judicala Stone. You got it close enough for me to know what you're talking about on the spelling. They're in North Carolina. Is it prophecy? That is probably one of the most difficult to decipher pieces of ancient history in America. It could be a star chart. It could be prophetic. It's very, very, very interesting stone. There's been a lot of stuff and a lot of data pulled out on it, but none of it's been conclusive. So,
what is
but
it?
Judicala, a big giant hairy man, and the big giant hairy man DNA study going on in North Carolina, I can see similarities. So,
so what's the stone? What's that all about?
Judicala was a giant back in the day. He was one of the mythological figures, and he jumped. And where he landed, his foot made an impression in this stone, and this stone is there. And where this stone's also at, there's also a star chart.
This sounds familiar.
We covered it with Jess back in the day. It was a year and a half ago.
I don't remember a star chart, but there's
they don't know if it's a star chart. There's a lot of people that think it is a star chart, but it's inconclusive, because for it to have been a star chart, it shows way older than what the stone should be.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So it's just one typical archaeological, well, this shouldn't be here kind of thing.
Sure. Doesn't fit.
Because, this is before humans were supposed to have been here. This is a star chart, because the star chart matches way far back. So, let's see here.
Randy's trying to send you something.
Yep, I can't copy.
So, what about you guys out there? What do you guys think of this? This year we're going to put it down here real soon, shortly. And what's your feeling? What's your general feelings of how it went? Is it about how you figured? Did you expect it to go that way, or was there something more you would like to have seen? FindingTrackWay's back. Welcome back, Finding the Trackway.
All right, I snagged that link, by the way.
Okay.
Apparently, aliens telling Biden UFO spotted hovering near Air Force One in L.A.
Okay, I heard a little bit about this. What's the story on it?
Well, it's trying to get me to play a video, and I don't want to play a
Don't
video.
play the video.
So let me track this down at another website. All right, it says a pair of amateur plane trackers captured strange footage earlier this month of an unidentified airborne craft that appeared to be hover above Air Force One as President Joe Biden visited Los Angeles.
Okay, I saw this.
Unsurprisingly, speculation is that it was extraterrestrial in origin and began to almost escalate immediately. A few viewers are saying we saw a UFO. He runs a YouTube channel on LA flights, but his brother Joshua said that with a laugh during on the December 10th live stream. So this happened earlier in the month.
Yeah, it did.
And
that's also not Air Force One.
I haven't seen a picture, so I couldn't tell
If you watch the video, you'll see that's not Air Force One. If it's the one I'm thinking. It looks like a KC-10 tanker, and I do believe it has it's fueling some what looks like F-22s, but I can't make them out to be sure, unless this is a different video, because I've seen 2 of these so far. Do you see Air Force One?
Unless it's got a different paint app now, that's old flying sheet metal.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's white. That's painted white as a driven snow.
Is there not F-22?
I see the F-22.
Are they?
I'm trying to. It does look like a KC-10 though.
It's KC-10, right?
Yeah, it's what. That's a KC-10. That's not.
Yeah, it's a tanker.
That's not the.
That's
one
what I
or
thought
two.
too. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I don't know much about this story, Brandy, because I had seen the original one, and yes, there is something flying there, and you can see it. But then I see it show up with a headline about being Air Force One. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Air Force One. I've seen this.
Yeah,
this footage.
that's not. That's just when I say old flying sheet metal, we call that basically that's the Air Force gray.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not.
That is the
Air
one
Force One's bright, flashy, metallic
is.
colored.
It's very bright. I've seen
Yeah,
it fly over
and
the house
it's
before.
stark white.
It's beautiful. It's an incredible plane.
Yeah.
But and it's easily recognizable.
Yep.
But
and it flies through here regularly. That's why we see it. That's why we know what it looks like too.
Well, also you've got the boom on that thing, and it's refueling the F-22s. Is that the same footage?
Yeah, because what I was seeing was an F-22 was actually under it.
Well, there's one.
There was one
to
the left and one below it.
Yep, that's right.
There was one that was taking fuel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you watch it, there is like a light orb that shoots through there, and it shoots through there about 3 times actually.
Now, FindingTheTrackWay says there's like 7 Air Force Ones. There's not quite 7, but there's a few of them, and they're all painted the same. That's the whole point behind that.
Yeah, this is a tanker.
One flies, a few of them do.
Here's the thing: Air Force One's not a tanker. This is a tanker. It's refueling those aircraft.
Yep. KC-10's big old fat bird.
Yep.
Air Force One's not. So let's see. Biden had an emergency dental appointment, just like Ike. The Men in Black.
Oh.
That's a good throwback. So we are coming up on the last few minutes here of the Wild and Weird Radio year in review. What do we have?
Oh boy.
For our future speculation, Ron?
Oh boy. Well,
so
okay.
Let's get into our guesses.
All right, and so typically,
I wish I had like a bright flashlight. You remember those old Conan O'Brien?
Oh yeah.
In the year 2000.
I remember that. Did you do that on the first one or something?
I think we did on the very first one.
I think you did. I think you were doing that.
But it was all audio.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. So predictions. How I do this is I base them off of how these things have progressed at this point. And at this point, I think it's pretty clear that we've already set this into motion. Anyone who listens to this show has a pretty good idea where we're heading at this point. And it's probably why we have so many people who do listen to this show.
Right.
It's too late to wash it all away. It's too late to try to cover it up. The next play, in my opinion, is going to be disinformation. I think we're going to see a massive disinformation campaign. I think we're already seeing it started. And I think it's going to get even more confusing as we move into election year. It's probably going to be one of the most confusing years yet, honestly. And the big question is this the year that we make so-called contact? Well, we already did that. So, but publicly, do you think it's possible? And I have to say, you ain't seen nothing yet. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pull a Tucker Carlson on you. I'm not going to say, oh, I can't tell you. You ain't seen nothing yet, is what I'm going to say. Because this has been leading up to this. This is the year that something happens, yes. Do I think that it's going to be like one of those situations where, landing on the White House lawn or something? No. No, I don't. What, is it too late to cover it up? Question. Give us some credit. Yeah.
We did give you credit. We talked about Arrow earlier.
Yeah, that's right. But so yeah, I think that we're going to see a massive amount of confusion that comes into this. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are just, it's going to tear some people's minds apart, is what I think. I think we're going to see some real issues with this, and as we move forward. I missed my one thing last year. There was one prediction I made that I missed, and that was that there would be an AI story.
Oh, you kind of missed it, man, until today. Today, I'm going to go grab that. So go ahead and start.
Well, I had said that there would be this AI story that would kind of rip the community apart, like it would kind of split things, and cause a massive divide. But I said it would be a video, and that it would be an AI generated video of some sort. That's what I was talking about. It didn't happen. We got a lot more steals, and if you notice, something more terrifying happened. We stopped talking about AI.
Right.
About halfway through the year.
Well,
after we got all those warnings that we should be more careful.
If you noticed over the year, the AI had increasingly got better and better and better. There are less fingers and less teeth on all the humans.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things where we're dealing in a world now where at a Tesla factory, a robot reportedly attacked a worker and left them bleeding. Is this the new reality in an increasingly automated workspace? That's a headline. That's a real headline that ran yesterday. This is automation that it didn't hit them by accident. This was an attack. This was the person got in the way and this thing moved it aggressively.
Okay. Okay.
So, that could be it in a world where automation is continued. It's going to happen. I saw it whenever I was in the IT field. We had guys that would occasionally be injured by our automation. And those were robots that filled prescriptions. Mm-hmm. And I got hit in the head really good one time. It caught me right here in the jaw. And, this thing moves with 120 pounds of force at like 10 miles of speed. And it got me because it was my fault. I had a sensor tripped and I had my head in there working on something. And one of the workers pressed a button that they shouldn't have. And this thing kicked into gear and got me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the more we take the hands out of this system, the more we automate this stuff, you do stand a chance of having more injuries. It's just the nature of the beast.
Well, these things can actually think for themselves, so they should be able to move out of the way, right? That's the theory. But yeah, as we test these things, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is going to happen. So I do see some major things with AI next year. I'm going to put my ball back on the court for that. I think that there will be some major upheavals in AI next year.
Yeah.
I think we're going to talk about that a lot more, and I think we're going to
Well,
find out that the AI is a little more intrusive.
We've seen all the cons ban AI art.
Yeah.
They took their stance.
Yeah.
We had Hollywood take a stance against AI writing.
Right.
So it's been we were kind of in, but kind of out until yesterday when there was a physical attack.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
All right. So you said you ain't seen nothing yet, and that's regarding the UFO topic and things that are going to come out. We do know that there is more coming very, very soon.
Very shortly.
Luis Elizondo also came out and he said that there's just wait till after the first of the year. It's going to get interesting.
Yeah. So we're going to go with January, or you want to go with February this time?
I'm thinking February again, man, because we've got January. It depends. It depends. January, February.
January 17th.
Coin toss. You're saying January 17th?
I just got in my head.
Let's see. Let's see. I got to look at the calendar because I got to pick a Friday at 5.
Is the 17th on a Friday? If it is, we're that's it. We're done.
All right. Let's see. You said the 17th. That's a Wednesday.
Oh.
So I'm going to go with
19th.
the 12th or the 19th.
Yep.
January 12th or January 19th. That's going to be my guess. We're going to get something interesting then. Donna has a good point too. She said, what about those dang auto toilets in public restrooms that splash you before you even get up? That's another proof of automation gone wrong.
See, they're out to get us.
Any predictions on the Bigfoot Enigma for the new year? Yes, I'm gonna hit that in just
what do
a
you
second.
think? Do you think we're going to get it or no?
What is it?
We're going to get it or no? What do you think?
We're gonna get something.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be the year, and I will say this quite firmly because of Darby's study.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the year that the story and the thought behind it has to change one direction or the other.
Mm-hmm.
There won't be a dividing line anymore because this study is so broad, and I know so many of the people who have submitted samples, and I know the samples they've submitted, and we sent some dirt too. This is going to be the year that essentially will be definitive for the Bigfoot topic. Either there is a physical living creature that inhabits the forest, or something else is happening and we're all catching it.
Yeah.
I don't know which it's going to be because we've got physical evidence that we've collected. We've also got really, really crazy, freaking weird stuff that we've collected while we were doing Bigfoot research. We have worked with people who are more in the paranormal side of the Bigfoot phenomena, and we have worked with people who are more in the flesh and blood aspects. We have stayed in the center. We've compartmentalized subject A and subject B.
Yep.
This year, I honestly think at the end of this study, we will have solidified that concept of subject A and subject B, or it's all subject B.
If it is, we're in trouble.
Yes, if it is all subject B, because it's one, the Bigfoot community will get turned on its head.
Yeah.
Because the vast majority of them aren't.
It's Sasquatch apocalypse.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it is.
The vast majority of Bigfooters are flesh and blood and will reject this
jumping out of towers.
Study. They will say that if the study doesn't have some kind of anomalous DNA show up, they will say that the government has done something to interfere. They will say there's a bigger cover up,
Sounds familiar.
But we
doesn't
can't
it?
keep running from it. We can't do that. We have to take that study because Darby himself is a Bigfooter. We have a Bigfoot enthusiast doing the research in a lab. And it's going to be real interesting how this coin falls, because it's either going to solidify subject A and subject B, or it's all subject B, and man, the water's going to get muddy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people's going to have to get okay with a whole lot of stuff real quick. Luckily, we're already out there doing this stuff. We're already studying both phenomena and their congruent layovers.
Yeah, you're going to definitely see more of that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So that's my prediction for the Bigfoot phenomena.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My prediction in the UFO world, I'm saying, like I said, January.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get somebody else other than Grush.
Oh, we are. We totally are.
I think we're going to get another high profile name.
Yeah. What about the non-human intelligent aspect of it? You think that's going to...
I think that it's possible that we might see the evidence of biologics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
because Grush has already alluded to it. Grush has already said that we have non-human biologics.
Mm-hmm.
We will either be told that there have been medical advancements because of these biologics, proving that we had them, or that we've weaponized it in some way.
Yeah.
Those are the two options there. We've medical advancements or weaponized it. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. I think there's going to be a little bit of something coming out of that. There's got to be.
Yeah. Scott said he started off flesh and blood, but yeah, and that's where a lot of people who are really honest with the research wind up.
Follow the data. Follow the data. You can't stay there if you follow the data.
Brandy says she's this upcoming year is the Chinese zodiac year of the dragon, so I'm predicting a dragon.
Why not?
Hey, it's according to the ancient astronaut theory, these dragons.
Why not?
Quetzalcoatl, dragons, fires in the sky. Uh-oh. But yeah, so that's going to be I think major defining things early in the year. Bigfoot phenomena is probably going to be later in the year. That's when because this research, and there's so many samples that Darby's running, like it's going to take a minute.
Oh, Tony just brought up a good one. That's going to be an interesting one too.
Tony says a Florida article today suggested AI time travelers. Yeah, that's not that's a theory that has been prevalent.
That's actually been brought up a few times.
Too.
And we'll actually be talking about that in January. There'll be an episode. We have a special guest coming on, and it's going to get a little timey-wimey out there, I think. It's going to be weird.
Anita says, I want to know if we have higher life forms. We have non-terrestrial bacteria, viruses, which is a non-terrestrial biologic. Yeah, well, according to Grush, we've got the pilots.
His exact words.
Yep.
Pilots of these things.
And Brandy says, yeah, we've weaponized it for sure, but I think there'll be some medical advancements. That's kind of where I'm at with you too.
Mm-hmm.
The hairless apes are really good about weaponizing everything.
Oh, they are.
Including rocks.
Yes.
Terry McCullough says, what's the chances that we find non-humans have always been here?
Very good, Terry.
That's high.
Extremely
very,
good.
very high. And I'm thinking that that's going to be the January, February stuff.
Extremely good. Yes. It's just, how's it going to go? What spin is going to go? They're going to put on this. That's going to be our biggest issue, I think, at this point. We'll be addressing it as it happens, but be prepared for just about anything at this point. And just listen. Don't absorb it. Just listen.
So now we've talked about the Bigfoot phenomenon. We've talked about the UFO phenomena and all that other stuff. Last year, we didn't throw our hat into the ring on the paranormal ghost stuff.
We didn't.
But with what we have seen this past year, with what we have, that Travis that has recorded out at Skinwalker Ranch, with what Nolan has reported in different situations, are we going to find some kind of, I guess, attunement between the UFO field and the paranormal field?
Mhm.
I think so,
Yes.
because there seems to be a massive overlap there more than in any other situation.
Yes. You will see
And
that.
a lot of your ghost hunters, that might make their butts pucker because
Well,
they don't want to jump into that field.
either they don't want to jump into it, or they'll jump into it and think think they're going to go out and just chase some lights. But like I told you, don't go chasing those lights.
Right.
I'm not kidding you here. Do not go out there and chase these lights. I can't say it enough.
The Men in Black say, finally, some actual truth on this show. Yes, you hairless apes are fond of weaponizing things.
It's true. So true.
Yep.
But yes, this isn't, as far as it goes, it's not entertainment. It's not a game. We don't do it for entertainment or a game.
Yeah.
I've had people ask, say things like, "Oh, you do it to, to amuse yourself or for clicks and likes." Look, guys, if we did it for clicks and likes, we'd have a whole lot more than like what have we got? 1,600 people.
Yeah, 1,600 people.
We're nothing. We are small potatoes compared to some of these channels out there.
Yeah, we're not. We are
20
the
and
worst at
30,000.
actually trying to self-promote.
We don't give a crap. In other words, is what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah. We're happy you're here. Don't get me wrong. We love
yeah.
each and every one of you guys, and we're so happy you're here.
Yes, but we don't care if we have 10 billion followers who who just want to sit over here in the bleachers and argue, because that's what most of those sites are. It's mostly you got 10,000 people and about 9,500 of them just sit over there and argue with everybody else. It's not what we're here for. We're not for that. We're just going to give data. You figure out what it is.
Yep. And it's unsensationalized data. That's the thing. We don't flex on it. We don't try to put our own bend or twists in it.
You don't have to.
It says I chased lights in the TNT area and almost ended up in the pond.
Will you not listen? What is wrong with you?
Beth says, I don't want to chase the lights, but they call me to chase them.
No.
We call that the will o' the wisp, Beth.
No.
That's how people back in the olden day just disappeared. Don't do it.
Don't chase the lights. If you've got some equipment, sure, turn the equipment on, set it out there, get it.
Brandy, also,
what?
I chased the orb.
I'm done with all of you.
All these people that are out here like, we're going to chase it. We see the light, we're going to chase. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. If I was in the situation, I'd probably chase it too. So when we go out and all research together, Ron can have his team and I'll have my team.
Do not.
And we all might die, but it'll be worth it.
No. Not unless you have the proper equipment. Do not do it.
Oh, man.
Get video. Yes.
Nikki Bennett says, I ran from an orb.
Now,
Smart.
the smartest person
See,
in the group.
there's somebody who's paying attention.
The smartest. Yeah. Thank you. You go to the head of the class, Nikki.
Finding the trackway. Do not go towards the light.
No, do not. Unless you're done.
Bigfoot, Littlefoot. That's like me. Can I pet that dog? Yes.
Ghost possum. Yeah.
Yeah. Scott says, and don't try to find the crying baby.
Oh yeah. Don't do that.
You're either going to wind up face to face with a cougar, or you're going to wind up something you don't even want to wind up with.
Yeah. Don't do it. You don't know. I mean, it's really hard.
So yeah, there's our guess. We've got major advancements coming up here in the next month and a half in the UFO department. My guess is new people and possibly evidence of the biologics.
Yeah.
Ron's guess was new people, and what was the other?
We've got new people, but we've also got some very, very new revelations.
New revelations,
and
ontologically shocking revelations.
Yes, that's them. That's the ones.
Yeah.
I also believe that we're going to get to hear a little bit more about the actual defense issue this year. I didn't put that in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes, that's right.
I think we're going to get to that because we always circle back to these things. And will we ever get back to that mothership thing? I don't know. Tune in to find out in 2024. But,
right.
Everyone
because that just disappeared, man.
Mothership.
It was there one minute and gone the next.
Giant,
and
not a small, giant
mothership. This is huge, gigantic.
That's putting out small probes.
Yep.
I.e. orbs.
these
Don't
small
chase-
metallic orbs that nobody knows how to find them and where they're going to be, but
Don't
they're able
chase
to
them.
be detected on thermal devices.
Don't chase them. Get them on video.
So
Don't chase them.
then, in the Bigfoot world, the Bigfoot world is also going to be in for an ontological shock, in my opinion.
Well, you just think they're going to basically find something that says it's
Definitive.
real or it's not.
There's something unknown, or everybody's mass hallucinating, which I don't think that's the case. I just think it's going to be subject B if that's the case. But we'll see. We'll see.
Oh,
It's
no,
going to be
Nick,
really
it's
interesting
too
because
late for
this
that.
will be for skeptics. This is going to be the nail in the coffin in the Bigfoot debate, or it's going to be the thing that kicks the door wide open. Yeah, Theresa also said, don't follow the thing that calls your name. Brandy says, I definitely think there will be UFO crossover with the paranormal world. Yeah. And that's, I think that too, because there's too much, you get the phenomenon with RSPK, poltergeist-like activity. You get all the weird paranormal stuff. It seems to happen right congruently with everything else in the UFO community.
Nikki said don't listen tonight, but it's too late. You do that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go out in the woods with me, sorry. That's one of the first things I do. Bigfoot says January will be new whistleblowers. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So then, like I said, that will be the defining thing in the Bigfoot community. It's probably going to be at the end of this year, maybe the beginning of 2025. But I'm going to say, well, if something real shows up, Darby's going to publish it like immediately. I would put money on it that something would come to surface pretty quick if there's a real anomaly that pops up.
Oh yeah, I mean that's instant.
So Bigfoot Littlefoot saying January, new whistleblowers, mid-March, more people. Then Dana Ho says, I've heard the bells sound just like a porcelain dinner bell.
What's that now?
Beth says, Beth is going to find all the big evidence. Yes, Beth's gonna find it. Let's see. Brandy says, I also think there will be more coming from the Middle East too that will have something to do with all of this, whether good or bad. Isn't that where Avi was dredging?
I can't remember where he was.
I can't remember what Gulf he was in.
I don't remember.
But yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, guys. Next year, if you thought this year was bonkers, oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's going to get weird. It's going to
hold on to your butts, as Samuel L. Jackson said in Jurassic Park.
It's going to get really weird. I have no doubt of that. And like I said, it's going to be a little polarizing for some people at points. But, we'll get you through it. It's all good. It's not,
We'll get you through it unbiased. We'll get you through it without any kind of direction that we want you to move in. We will present the data in a way that is digestible and that is accurate.
You just said that the aliens are going to digest people? Was that what you said? Oh my God, I got to put that on Twitter. No,
yeah, there we go. That's how we get all those followers, man.
That's how it works, just like that. But no, for real, it's going to get kind of crazy out there. So I want everybody to be kind of careful.
Yeah.
Watch your sources, check your sources. It's not that hard. I've already seen it. I've seen so many people posting these things about the definitive answers to what this stuff is. Oh, it's demons. Oh, it's angels. Did you ever occur to you that it may not be neither and it might be both? We don't even know at this point. And to sit there and say these things, it's just like, who are you?
Yeah.
What? Even if one appeared right beside me right now, had his chance. Even if one appeared right beside me right now and it said, hey, I'm, whoever.
Commander Zorpazorp.
Well, if Zorpazorp shows up, I'm a believer. It's just it. But no, if someone else shows up beside me right now and says, I'm, Commander Zingdar or whatever, and I'm from the Garnon Republic, and we're here to give you this and to bring your people into higher light. And I'm going to be like, are you though? I mean, how do I know that? Because the last time I met somebody on the street and they told me their name and then they told me what they did for their job, I kind of was like, really? Are you though? Don't you really just work at Ticketmaster? Think about that. Just think about that. Because people are like that. I mean, they don't tell the truth. What makes you think these things would tell the truth? Come on. And they're pretty good about not telling the truth. They want to not be found sometimes.
So, Ron, New Year's resolution time.
Resolution?
Yeah, let's make some New Year's resolutions for Wild and Weird West Virginia.
Well.
And Wild and Weird Radio.
The
West Virginia House Rangers Collective.
I think that it's going to be a really good year. I think we have some incredible projects that we're working on.
Yeah.
The workshop's going to be unlike any that we have ever done or that anyone, I'll say that right here and mark it. Or that
Speaking of the workshop, Larry Hose predicts he's going to be abducted while out in the TNT area.
You may be, Larry. You may be. It will be unlike any workshop that anyone has ever conducted in this state and possibly any. I'm
going to lean out and say it's probably going to be the first of its kind in the country.
I think it will be. And I'm not even joking with you on that.
Yeah, me neither. If you guys understood.
It just hasn't happened.
What you helped create.
I mean, I'm sure everybody else will be.
You would be losing it right now.
Everybody else will be doing it soon enough. But this is another one of those firsts. And I'm pretty proud of it. So it's going to be really cool. And I hope everybody gets in because it's a record breaker. It's history. And it's really cool to do it in West Virginia.
Yeah, it really is. How did you guess the Ticketmaster connection?
Good one.
It's always great when you got the Men in Black on your show.
I know. What other show has the Men in Black come in and harass them? Not many. And I think that we're just going to have an incredible year, like I said. And, I don't have I don't have like a little cupped toast or anything with you, but I would say, here's to the future, uncharted, uncharted horizons and so forth and so on that will be scaling and shooting across soon enough. It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be a good year. So I'm going to throw in there that we're going to spend more time out in the field. We're going to collect more evidence. We're going to share that evidence, obviously, with all of you guys. I think that we're going to, I don't think, like, our goal is to become more, I guess, beloved amongst the community of all types, because it's one of these things where this pot that we've created, this big melting pot with all of you guys, we need more people in it because that's how we're going to get the answers. Mm-hmm. You guys, the first half of this show, you guys were the ones sending in the videos. Listeners, audience members, supporters were the ones sending in their evidence, and that they were coming in and joining the show. It was you guys, not some strangers. It was family that we work with. The Men in Black apparently predict that we will continue to monitor you. Well, I don't think that's a prediction. That's straight out statement.
Fact. That's a fact.
And I guess, like Ron said, the future is very, very wide open. Mm-hmm. It's going to be uncharted territory, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting because we're going to dive in harder and we're going to push in deeper than we have, because it's with everything that's coming, with everything that's moving right now at a escalated pace, the need to create that digestible, meaningful content to distribute and share with you guys is going to be ever increasing. Because it's going to get so much stranger. So
I'll go out there and say this too. The folks who listen to this show and support the show, I think we got to see was it last Friday? Yeah, with the podcast, the last one the Reverend was on. Incredible turnout, incredible participation, and I think that is what sets our show apart from a lot. The amount of participation. It is your show. It's always been your show.
Yep.
We said that years ago, and we decided to make this thing. We wanted a platform to where, we could kind of let someone else drive the show, and why not let the audience themselves drive it? And you all do, and you do it in such a great manner. I know that the more people we get in, the more we'll have some troublemakers here and there, but we're going to keep trying to, weed that out and make sure that we stay on top of that. But all in all, it's just been a really positive experience. And, the more you show up, the more you support us, the better the shows will get, and the better the content's going to get. And honestly, you ain't seen nothing yet. And that's not some kind of, bragging right. That's not
sure isn't.
You ain't seen nothing yet, for real. It's going to be something, and you're not going to believe it. That's what I'm going to say about it. A little bit of ontological shock, maybe.
Maybe a little bit, but this is stuff that we've set into motion years ago, and we're finally at a position where we're going to be able to do some stuff. I'm telling the workshop's going to blow everybody away.
Just be there. That's all.
You don't want to miss the workshop. We're going to be announcing that the date for that will nail down here in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We will have pre-announcements for this, because
it will be exclusive to you guys.
Yes. So it'll be pre-announcements, and we'll make sure that everyone knows it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. We can't control, who gets in and who don't get in. Let's just letting you know. So you're going to have to be there. You're going to have to push the button and make sure that you get your tickets on time. It's going to sell out fast.
Yeah.
Especially at the rate, we don't charge a lot for our,
we don't charge a lot, and you get fed too while you're there.
So so if you've been to one, you already know this.
Yep.
And if you haven't, and you're thinking, wow, that's awful, there's no way they're going to do anything for that price. Oh yeah, we are. we do. And that's what we do, because the price has already been taken care of, thanks to people like you.
Right.
This is what you've done. This is what you've done. You've created it. You're funding it, and that's our way of giving it back.
Yep.
So
So guys, you all are awesome. Thank you for another amazing year at Wild and Weird Radio.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys tuning in weekly for Wild and Weird Radio live at 8 p.m. Eastern every Thursday here on YouTube.
Every Thursday.
You guys have blown us away in the last year, and we just hope that we're able to continue to provide you with entertainment, some therapy, like some of you have said, and just a place where you can come and kind of get away from the rest of the world for a minute and just sit with like-minded people once a week and just have fun. Because that's what this is about. If you're not having fun, don't do it.
Yeah, you got to have fun. If you don't have fun, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. It's not worth it. Life's too short. You've heard the speech.
Yep.
And then you'll just have to come back and do it again. You don't want to do that. Just get it right the first time.
So guys, if you've had a sighting that you would like to report, send it over to wildandweirdwv.com. Hit the report a sighting tab, and it will direct you to a questionnaire, and you can fill that out. If you are not in West Virginia, still fill this out. We know researchers who are in your area, and we can get them on the ground and have due diligence conducted in your area. So
thank you for that super sticker, Theresa. Awesome.
If you want to reach out to us for any other reason, you can contact us at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. You can send in reports there as well if you want, especially if it's a really long one. You can reach out to us there and just ask us general questions. Or if you want to come on the show, you can do that as well. That's be the best way to contact us. If you haven't already, remember to like, share, and subscribe here to the show. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Trust me, because there's going to be benefits. You guys who have done this, you know what that means. We greatly appreciate it as well, not to mention that. If you have shared an experience with us and you'd want to hear it on the radio, make sure you notify us and let us tell us that you definitely want us to report it, and we'll put it on.
I wonder who else is going to get turned into one of those blessing.
Who's next?
I don't know.
We're gonna
Could
get
be
you
Bruce.
added in there, Angie.
Could be
And but then, guys, if you want to catch us out on the road, the first place we're going to be showing up this year that we know of, other than the workshop, is going to be at OBC. The workshop will probably be before OBC, so if you guys want to come out to that and catch us, definitely do it there. Then that is the wrap for this year.
Is it?
That's
Really?
everything you need to know.
Really?
So, moving in to 2024, which is going to be the biggest year for Wild and Weird yet. We want to thank each and every one of you. We want to thank you for being here. We want to thank you for your donations and all the funds you've sent.
Right there says it
Happy
all.
New Year.
That says it
Let's
all.
make 2024 weird and wild. Absolutely, Julie Bug.
Let's
Could
make
not
wild
have
and
said
weird,
it
too.
better myself. You guys have been amazing. This has been, on record, the best year that we've had with Wild and Weird Radio because of you. Because every week you guys come out to this live and hang out with us. We look forward to it. We know many of you guys look forward to it as well. So, since this is the last time for 2023, remember, 2024 is going to be very wild and weird. So don't get distracted. If you're got any weird questions, feel free to air them. But regardless of how confusing and how obscure some things might be, remember, stay wild and weird, everybody.
Don't chase the orbs.